Welcome everybody to Brandon Poole Elevation Podcast. I'm here with Zach Clifton. I've known him for quite some time now, since 7th grade, I believe, when I first transferred to Southeast Bullock Middle School. And we played soccer together. We've had a few classes together, and we've been in touch for quite some time. And now we're both freshmen in college, and he's at Georgia Southern University. And so yeah, Zach, take it away.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. But two, I'm going to have to correct you on that. I'm not a freshman anymore. I'm actually a sophomore.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're all good. So I actually got ahead with some credits, but
Gotcha.
It doesn't matter. We're all 18, 19, something like that. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on the show, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys and just rolling. Let's go.
All right. Well, tell us a little about yourself, like where you're from, that kind of thing.
All right. Well, my name is Zach Clifton, and like you said, freshman, sophomore, whatever you want to go with, here at Georgia Southern University in Statesboro, Georgia. Like Brandon said, I went to high school with him, middle and high school here in Brooklyn, and I ran cross country and track in high school, and I did that. And I wanted to go run at the collegiate level, and just kind of weighed my options: education, business interest, running. I just sat down and thought about it, and now I'm here doing this. I work at the RAC, which is the Campus Recreation Intramurals. I work in the marketing department here, and I also have my side business, my side hustle, which is my pride and joy, Up and Running Media. And I think that's really what we're kind of talking about today.
Yeah.
But Up and Running Media is what I started after I was in an accident, actually. And a tree fell on me and broke my leg in half at the end of my senior season.
And this is while you're running cross country?
Right.
Yeah.
And so from there, I was just absolutely devastated. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Well, over that recovery period, I started looking into some different things I wanted to do. And one thing I found that helped me get through the recovery was I found these running videos, and they were in these really cool locations. There was some out in Arizona. There were some in places like Japan, these trail runs. And I was like, oh my goodness, I would absolutely love to shoot this kind of stuff. I want to do that. I want to travel. I want to go see the world. Like, that's what I want to do. So I kind of came up with a really dumb idea while working here in this very office. This is where it started, in this chair, actually. I decided that I wanted to make a YouTube channel. So I did that. And then I also put on my very first race back on the 4th of July. And you, Brandon, actually ran that. I remember that.
Yeah.
Firecracker Mile.
Oh, yeah.
And that was my first race I ever did. But then I decided that I could merge the two, create a business out of it, and then I could use my business to make some money and to travel around, film stuff, shoot all kinds of things. And that's what I do. I'm a race director, race organizer, media specialist when it comes to running film. Not a lot of people are in that field, but it's fun.
Yeah. So you took your love for running, which I know you loved a lot because you were pretty serious about it in high school, I remember. And you made it into your own business. And do you think that's what you want to do after college as well, or is this just a temporary thing?
I would absolutely love for this to grow up all the way, and like this to be my full-time job, because I absolutely love it. And I think everybody has that one, or everybody should have that one vision that is what they want to do. That's their dream. That's that burning passion, like in their stomach, that they wake up every morning and want to go make better, because that's what I want to do. Now, I would love for that to happen, but I always keep my options open.
Right.
I do. And I'm an ag communications major. I'll be transferring to the University of Georgia in the fall. And so that way I can get some more corporate experience. I can work my way up through companies like possibly Altria or any farm bureaus, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that way I can always bring those elements of working in those larger businesses back to my small business and kind of just incorporate it that way.
Right.
And so one day we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, you're talking about Altria. My brother David actually worked for Altria straight out of
really?
college. Yeah, he worked there for I think it was roughly a year, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. And then he eventually transferred to work at ADP. But
Oh, nice.
But yeah, Altria was a pretty good company. And your dad, he does tobacco farming, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
My dad. Oh, go ahead.
No, good.
Oh, well, my dad's a farmer. He grows tobacco in Scriven County, Georgia, and he's one of the top 10% growers to the Philip Morris USA, and that's who he has his contract with. And Philip Morris USA is actually it's the company that works with Altria. Like Altria is the big parent brand, and then it's just a branch.
Gotcha.
So I actually won a scholarship that helps pay for my school through them, and so with that, hey, yeah, oh, you good? But yeah, through that scholarship, that's helping me go to school.
Nice. You were talking about your parents and your dad. Growing up, what do you think was the best lesson they ever taught you that's kind of helped you in your success in running, school, and this business?
My parents taught me to, above all, like above everything else, be respectable and be the best version of you. Because if you try to be somebody else, then you're never going to be the best version of you.
Yeah, that's good. I like it.
Yeah.
So how have those lessons guided you to do what you're doing today? Like what's like that, and along with a lesson that maybe your dad taught you specifically, only him. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, now I have this job working in marketing here, and it's nice, and it's an inside job. And my dad, he started out in ag business and then went to farming. And he just always told me, you know, you're never going to get anywhere in life if you just play it safe. You know, he's a farmer. He puts our livelihoods on the line every year. When he's got to put the seed in the ground, he's just got to have the faith that it's going to come through.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, sometimes you have, and one thing he's always taught me is, you know, you're going to have good seasons in life, you're going to have bad seasons in life, but you just have to have the faith that if you put in the hard work, that it will eventually pay off. You're not, because you can put in hard work and it can fail, but then, you know, you just learn a way not to do that. It's okay to fail because then you learned, but it's not okay to not try. And that's one thing he's always made sure I worked hard, and I really try to work hard on all the stuff I do. And I put in lots and lots of effort into all my different races and my videos.
Yeah.
And a lot of time and effort just learning new techniques, learning what shots are the best, and how to make the race the best race I can make it.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And when you were running in high school, kind of like back to that, do you think that hard work and the things that your dad taught you are also the lessons that running taught you, or is there something in specific that running taught you?
Most definitely, running is definitely a parallel to life.
Yeah.
Because it sucks. It's hard. And some days you just are like, what am I doing? Can I go do anything else? But it makes you strong. And it really does help you realize that you have to put in this hard work and it will pay off.
Yeah.
Like in high school, I ran for 4 years. I ran varsity all 4 years. My freshman year, I was one of 3 freshmen in the entire coastal region who ran as a freshman. I ran at state 4 years, But just I worked my butt off year round. It wasn't just for that span of a few months. I ran every 5-6 days a week, every week for 4 years.
Yeah.
And I slowly but surely got better, got stronger. And it's all about that process, man.
Yeah, for real. Fall in love with the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember I didn't really get started like running, which I'm still not, I don't consider myself a runner,
Okay.
but I was probably about a year ago I started running more, and it's definitely something you have to learn to love.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much
And
so.
but you did really well too. You were placing like first and like top 3 almost every big race.
Yeah, I won the region championship my senior year.
Yeah.
And I ended up placing pretty high up in the state competitions, and I actually had the opportunity to compete in the U.S. national championship for the 15K.
Wow.
And yeah, so that was fun.
That's awesome.
Definitely memorable experiences.
Yeah, that's amazing. So let's say it's 10 years from now. Where do you see yourself?
10 years from now, that's a really good question. Honestly, I have this vision of me. I have lots of different visions of me 10 years from now. And
Yeah,
I understand, like, I know that there's a lot of people. I'm very goal oriented, and I want to be the best version of me 10 years from now. That's who I want to be.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I just don't know what that version is going to be, because a year ago, if you told me I'd be working in marketing, I'd have up and running, I would have said, are you crazy? I don't make YouTube videos like I did when I was in middle school and stupid. Like, I don't do that. That's lame.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I am a firm believer that circumstances change, and, you got to just the only way to keep going is to just keep rolling.
Yeah.
And you gotta go with it, and you have to see your opportunities. You gotta weigh them, and sometimes you gotta go for it. And honestly, if the hardest thing I ever had to do in my entire life was to not finish my senior year of track, and like I almost died that day. I mean, if it was like a half a second earlier or later, like that tree could have landed on my head instead of my back.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
I could have died. And I did a lot of thinking, and if it wasn't for that horrible event, that the thing that I hate most in my entire life, I wouldn't be working here. I wouldn't have this company. I wouldn't be doing this. And
Yeah,
you gotta keep rolling with life.
yeah. I remember Drew Hawkins. He him and a couple other people were like came to you when the tree had fallen on you, and like lifted up the tree, and you got out. And I think like didn't they like go back later and try to lift the tree again, and they couldn't?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yep. It was a miracle. Yep.
So do you think that if that had not happened, you'd still be running?
Oh, most definitely. I would be still running. I had races signed up. I was supposed to go to Montana last summer. I'm actually going this year.
Nice.
You ready for it? Up and running. Going to be vlogging the whole time. But I would have definitely still been running. I don't know in what capacity I'd be doing. I don't know where I'd be. But, I mean, I wouldn't have met these incredible people like Ellen back here. Hey, Ellen. I wouldn't know Ellen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have this job if it wasn't for that.
Right. You're talking about you want to be the best version of yourself 10 years from now. It kind of reminded me of, I think I was watching like a Goldcast video, and it was Matthew McConaughey. And I think when he was like in kindergarten or like first grade, the teacher asked him who his superhero was, who his hero was. And I think he had answered the hero for him is himself 10 years from now. And like every time, like his hero all the time is himself 10 years from now. He's trying to be that one one person. It's always never ending process,
Right.
a never ending chase for greatness. So this kind of goes along with it, seeing yourself 10 years from now, but what do you want to be remembered for at the end of your life?
I mean, it's going to sound kind of like what I've already said, but
Yeah.
at the end of my life, what I would love for them to just, when they're all crying, because they're all going to cry at my funeral, I already know this, but I just want them to say, he was the best version of himself. Like, he was, like, and he was not the greatest. What am I? Come on, man. But seriously, I just want them to say, like, he kept his faith and he believed in himself and he tried to be the best person he could be every day of his life. I couldn't think of anything else.
Yeah. I remember a couple years back, I remember I was with my brother and we were in a deep conversation, and I asked him, what's the purpose of life? And he said, it's all about adding value to people and becoming the best version of yourself. And that's I'm pretty sure you're a Christian too, but I'm a Christian as well. And that's what Jesus was. He was the best version of himself, and that's what we all should strive to do. So with that being said, now we can enter the lightning round.
All right.
So, what book would you recommend to others to read?
Okay.
Why?
Well, this, like you said, well, I'll go ahead and say this. I am a Christian, and I firmly believe in that.
Yeah.
And I believe everything in that, from cover to cover, everything in that is the truth, and that is the rock on which I build my life. And if I had to pick one book that every person had to read, it would most definitely be the Bible. And I know that's I know that's probably what wasn't what you were thinking it was going to be.
A lot of people say that, and I would too. But yeah, it's definitely worth mentioning.
Because I believe, well, I personally don't make big decisions without even little decisions. I don't make decisions without talking to God, and I pray every day. And if it's not in that book, then why are you doing it?
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure but there's things from finances in the Bible. There's things on just how to treat people and love and everything like that.
Every aspect of life.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you mentioned prayer, but what's a daily habit that contributes to your success?
Well, you took it. Okay. Well, I pray every day. And now you got me. Okay, what's something else I do? Just making sure that everything I'm a very time-oriented person. I'm a list maker. I'm a scheduler. I have my to-do list to do for the day, and I like to go through it and start checking things off. Yeah. I don't like to procrastinate. I like to specifically plan out every little thing. I have 12 planners. I don't know why I have 12. I only need one. But for some reason, I tell myself I need a lot more.
Yeah.
But that's what I do every day. I plan out my day so I can know what I need to be doing, because if not, I'll just be like, I'll be sitting back here in the office. I'll be like, I guess I could edit. I guess I could edit this, or wait, should I work on this race poster, or should I go film this, or should I be working on this? And it's just so many different things. Should I be doing schoolwork? Stuff like that. Every day you need to be organized and just be ready to start marking things off the list.
Yeah, I do the same thing as well. I have four or five journals I keep, and one of them's for to-do lists every single day. Make a checklist, work out, drink water, meditate, pray, read, do my podcasts, and things like that. And but yeah, and another journal's for gratitude. I write down things I'm grateful for at the end of the day. and others just for life, just writing down what happens, keeping record of that, and just any thoughts, any big decisions. But yeah, definitely journaling, keeping an agenda, schedule is definitely important. I think that I'm pretty sure almost every successful person does that. You can't. It's like I remember Zig Ziglar. He was talking about goal setting, and he relates it to archery. And he talks about how when you're in archery, you can't hit a target that you can't see. So you got to set something that you can see, that you can visualize, and work on it, and eventually it will come to pass. So yeah, next question. Who are your top 3 role models?
My top 3 role models, definitely my parents. I'll try to, we'll count them as one. I try to live up to who my parents raised me to be and who they are. And I think they raised me pretty well. I hope so.
Yeah.
I strive to be like my parents. Honestly, obviously Jesus is the ultimate role model. Yeah, try to be like him every day. And it's gonna sound weird, but my whole business, I guess, role model. Goodbye, Ellen. Sorry. My business role model, who I got the idea from to start this company, is this guy named Jamil Curry, and he is the founder of Run Steep Get High. It's a little fun group out in Arizona. They film all this stuff, and they're crazy and they're wild. But I just think what they're doing is they're trying to make, for the running standpoint, they're trying to make running the best thing it can be. They're trying to make it an enjoyable experience. And for me, like that's the purpose of my business. So why not set off to be like the best and better than the best?
So are they kind of doing like a vlogging thing as well?
He did a vlog over the summer when he was doing lots of different kinds of races and traveling around and stuff like that. But they actually are race directors too, so they put on stuff like one of their big races is the Mongolian Monster 100 and which 100-mile race, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And there's ultra runners, which is a whole nother ball game. But they're awesome, and they run trails, and it's so pretty out there. And I would love to go meet them one day or something like that.
Yeah. I kind of meant to ask you this earlier, but I kind of looked over it. But go into more detail about Up and Running, and like I know you said you film races and that kind of thing, but you also do like other sports too, like filming other games and things like that. Starting off right now in Statesboro, correct?
Right. Yes. My little sister plays basketball, and I have a camera. And they were like, "Oh, well, can you come out and film?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I made my little sister a hoop mix, and she was like, "Oh, that's cool." And I, did some sick edits, like went back and forth, and did some cut jump shots, and I always like to throw in the slow mo. That's something with me. I like to do speed ramping, which is like when you're like really slow motion, and you go fast. That's one thing I always like to do. But yeah, I film all different kinds of events. Mainly sports. Don't ask me to come shoot your wedding because you will be very disappointed, and I'll be frustrated in myself because I'll be like, I didn't do a good job. But I've shot, like I said, basketball and running. I could probably shoot soccer games too, but I shoot all that kind of stuff here at the rack, and I go and film intramurals too.
Cool.
But go for it.
And you also got featured in the Statesboro magazine, right?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Was picked as one of the upcoming businesses. Brendan Vasher, what a guy. He wrote an incredibly way too nice article about me and my company. And
I read it when I was back home in Statesboro.
He was incredible. I was so thankful that he did that. And he's a good guy, and I just am so thankful that he did that. Because it gave me some publicity. People were like, "Oh, it's just not some random guy running around with a camera, following people at races." It gave me purpose, and it's helped me make some business connections, and I'm really looking forward to moving forward with that and bringing some new content this year.
Awesome. All right. So, looking at your business and your experiences in life, what would you say is your definition of success?
I'm gonna go back to my old friend. The same thing I've been saying all day.
Yeah.
Being the best version of yourself.
Right.
I can't think of any other way to be more successful. It doesn't matter. I honestly, and I know this will sound weird as a businessman, I own my own business, but it's not all about the money.
Yeah.
It's really not. I want to be the best version of myself. It doesn't matter if I make $1 million, what if that version, like at that point in my life, I was supposed to have made $1 billion. I mean, there's a big difference. I mean, $1 million is nice, but and what if, and I don't want to go through my life and sit here in this cave, what we call this office, by the way, but I don't want to sit here and just be like, oh, I went and filmed a couple things. I want to say I went and I met these people from other countries, other places around the world. I filmed them. I lived life. That's what I want to do. I want to live life, and I want to be the best version of myself. And I think if you're doing everything you can and you are being the best version of yourself, then, hey, you're more successful than, oh, I think I'm going to watch some Netflix today.
Yeah. One thing I talk about in my speeches, a lot of my talks, is that it's not about the money. It's not about the destination. What it's about for me is the journey, the process, and who you become in the process as well. And that means more to me than anything else, because if you get to the end of your life and you didn't learn anything, you didn't gain anything, then what was the point? So it's always about becoming more, and like you said, becoming the best version of yourself. Well, besides, which has been like the overall message of today, is being the best version of yourself. What would you, let's say that, what would be your parting advice to everybody that's listening? Let's say there's a microphone on every single person in the world. It's all translated into their own language. Babies can understand it as well. What would be the one thing you would say to them?
Oh, wow. That's a deep question. You could go lots of different ways with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, just, I want to say a couple different things. Oh.
Tell every single one.
Well, just don't doubt yourself. Go for it. Life's too short. You never know when it's going to be taken away from you. As I know, I was in an accident. One of my best friends when I was a kid, like he I know who I'm talking about. He was killed his senior year, and that really shook me up. And then I almost died, and it gives you a spin on life. Just don't take life for granted. Just go out and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Be you.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone else tell you who to be, because that's what we want to be, what everybody else wants us to be. Just do what you want. Do what makes you happy.
Awesome.
And love everybody. And that one, let's not forget that one. Love everybody.
Love everybody.
Love everybody.
I definitely agree with every single one of those. All right. So now I just want to take a moment to acknowledge you and to thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for the example that you set within your running, within your character, your integrity, and your success in up and running in your business as well. And just thank you for being who you are. Thank you for your pursuit of becoming the best version of yourself.
Well,
And
thank
so,
you. Thank you for having me.
yeah,
I really
it's been a
appreciate what you're
pleasure.
doing.
So, in closing, how can we connect with you?
Well, I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Instagram stories. Always check me out on there. That's my
Oh yeah,
favorite part. And YouTube. Oh my gosh, I forgot.
almost forgot.
Oh man, that's where everything is. But it's all the same it's it's up running with two P's, so it's UPP, then running, and all of those social medias. And yeah,
Awesome.
that's it. Shoot
All
me an
right.
email if you ever want to talk about doing a race. If you if you have any questions about running, I have quick tip videos going up once a month. I've got 3 new series coming out: quick tips, workout Wednesdays, and health tips. And those will all be
Nice.
dropping on Wednesdays. Wednesdays are my upload days, and just get ready for some awesome content.
Yeah. All right. I'll definitely be checking those out, and I'll also have all those links: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, every single one of those. I'll have them linked up in the show notes. So everyone that's listening, you can go check them out and tune in every Wednesday for those new videos.
Yep.
And I think that's it. Unless you have anything else to add, Zach.
Make sure you get up and running.
Awesome. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you.